Hey there, Alex here. It's that time of the year again where we get a brand new Galaxy Note. This time round, we actually get two options. The Note 10 Plus, which is similar in size compared to the Note 9, and a smaller Note 10. Because I normally prefer smaller phones, I went with the Note 10, and this is my review of the phone. In terms of design, I think this is the best looking and most polished Samsung phone to date. The more squarish design, attention to details, the new camera layout, and of course, the incredible looking screen. I know it's only Full HD+, but there is more to a display than just resolution. With the less rounded corners, smaller bezels, and a smaller camera cutout, it looks even nicer than the S10 to me, which was already really good. Like the S10, it has an ultrasonic fingerprint sensor under the screen. Once I got used to the timing and position of the sensor and registered the same finger twice, it works a little better. But it's still a bit more finicky compared to other solutions like the optical sensor on the OnePlus 7 Pro. While we are talking about the not so good stuff, we might as well just get this out of the way first. The Note 10 is not only dropping the headphone jack, but also the micro SD card slot. Personally, I don't really care about either of those things, since it's really easy to get good quality Bluetooth earbuds at reasonable prices these days, and the phone comes with 256GB of storage as standard. But I know some folks are still going to be pretty upset by this. Some users do have specific needs that might require a headphone jack. Before we talk about the good stuff, I want to talk about the processors for a bit, because it's something that I don't really like, but it's not exactly a bad thing either. So the Note 10 is using the new Exynos 9825 chipset in most markets, and according to Gary's test, it seems like the Snapdragon 855 variant still performs better, especially in terms of GPU performance. But on the other hand, I have no issues with the performance of the phone at all in day-to-day usage, and it still feels really snappy to me. I also don't want Samsung to give up on their own chipset as well. Remember the Snapdragon 810? Those were dark days for any Android phone that isn't a Samsung. Like I mentioned in the Exynos vs Snapdragon comparison video that I did for the S10e, I can only hope that Samsung will keep improving on their own chipset. Let's go back to talking about the good stuff now. The Note 10 is actually one of the smallest Galaxy Note to date in terms of physical size. It's not really a small phone, considering it's just slightly smaller than the Note 7, but it is small by today's standards. Because it's thin and narrow, it's actually not that hard to use one-handed, which is something that I care about. In terms of hardware, the Note 10 comes with all the goodies from the S10. Good sounding stereo speakers, IP68 water and dust resistance, fast wireless charging, reverse wireless charging, and support for dual SIM. Samsung also removed the dedicated Bixby button in favor of a programmable power button, so definitely a huge improvement here. On top of all that, we have the SPen of course, which is what makes the Note the Note. Samsung added in a gyroscope and accelerometer in the new SPen. So aside from being able to use it as a remote trigger, we can now use swipe gestures or even a rotating gesture to control supported apps. It seems like an interesting idea, but I think like the Note 9, it's not something that I would be using much. Basically, the things that I like about the SPen are still the same as before. The ability to get precise inputs, which is great for editing videos or playing some games, the ability to quickly take notes just by pulling the pen out, and the ability to use it to draw things when I'm bored. Take this time-lapse video for example. I recorded myself drawing this using the new screen recorder feature in One UI, and edited the whole video using the SPen in Adobe Rush. The whole process was made a lot easier because of the SPen. Anyway, I know a lot of folks don't really use the SPen, so Samsung is trying to find more users for it, which is a good thing for sure, but I think this is still where its true value lies. Other than the new screen recorder feature I mentioned earlier, in general, the software experience is largely the same as what we have on the S10. It's no longer like the TouchWiz we used to make fun of. One UI is snappy, has a lot of useful features, and the UI design is quite nice. I think it's actually pretty enjoyable to use. There are still a couple of bloatware, but for the units sold in Singapore, we do get the option to choose what Samsung apps we want. Which brings us to the cameras. It's a very similar setup compared to the S10, and I'm seeing largely similar results, so it's still not going to beat the Pixel 3 in terms of image quality. However, I'm at a point where I can't really say the Pixel still offers a better camera experience anymore. The thing is, the image quality is at a good enough level already, and that 10 to 15% difference in image quality is not enough to make up for the other things that the Note 10 can do better, like taking wide-angle shots, recording super slow-motion videos, creating more unique-looking videos with the new live focus video mode and AR doodle feature, and even regular video quality is better on the Note 10. It supports plenty of recording options, including 4K for the front camera, and the super steady stabilization works really well. Samsung even added a zoom-in mic feature that will enhance the audio on the area that you're zooming into. So overall, it's just a really nice camera experience. In the end, the Note 10 is yet another great phone from Samsung, and easily one of my favorite phones so far. However, like the past couple of years, it's still not the Samsung phone that I would recommend to most people. The differences between the S10 and the Note 10 are not really that big. Because the S10 came out earlier in the year, in terms of pricing, it's a better deal if you're buying the phone off contract. The Note 10 does have more storage, of course, which is nice, but the S10 has expandable storage, and it still has a headphone jack, which some folks might need. Ultimately, it comes down to the SPen again, and how much extra you're willing to pay for it. I suspect that for a lot of folks, that number is still smaller than the difference between both phones now. It's still an awesome phone, and I love it. But until we start seeing better deals for it, this is a phone that you buy with your heart, not your head. Thanks for watching this review. If you've enjoyed it, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more content in the future. I'm on Instagram as well if you want to stay up to date on what I'm up to. Thanks again, and see you guys on the next one.